Once again, I'd like to thank the Gundam shop for supplying me with my Gundams, and don't forget to visit them for your Gunpla needs.
Hello Internet, Dave here, and welcome to part 3 of my Gundam Let's Build for the RX-78-2 Gundam, the EFSF prototype close combat mobile suit from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. Continuing related films off last time. Today we are going to build the legs, the waist, and the rest of the weapons for the Gundam and his shield as well. I will be doing this in a time-lapse footage from the build and be doing the voiceovers afterwards. I hope that you enjoy.
So we're going to begin with the right leg and the right foot, getting all the bits ready here and getting them all lined up. As you see, I have got this on super fast motion to help get this done. I'm getting all the parts I need out, making sure that they're all nicely put together, and away we go. Now, with the legs, I'm going to make sure that all the movement's fine, I've got all the right bits, etc. They're all filed down correctly and in the right positions as well. Taking off any knobbly bits that I find that aren't supposed to be part of the Gundam build. Some fun facts about the RX-78-2 Gundam is that its total weight, if it was life-size, would be 60 tons, its generator output would be 1,380 kilowatts, its thruster total propulsion is 55,500 kilograms, and its material is a lunar titanium alloy, which is a fictional titanium build, which is stronger than our normal titanium. There we go. It is capable of flight as well as entering Earth's atmosphere. Its main close combat weapons, the beam sabers, as you probably guessed, on its back, and its heavy bazooka, its hyper bazooka, its beam saber, its beam rifles, and its 60mm Vulcan guns, which are in its head. And of course his shield, which is able to take hits from massive tank rounds, bullets, lasers, and has occasionally been able to take blows that would normally cut through the Gundam. The shield seems to be easily repaired throughout the series. It's not the strongest shield, it does get broken through, but the Gundam mainly uses it as a sniping thing with the slit on there to protect its body as it's firing against incoming fire. The legs have a full piston movement operated by high hydraulics, as well as a lot of moving cogs and wheels. The RX-78-2 Gundam, as I said, being one of the very first mobile suits, did not have full human motion. It was still, as you see from its build, a clunky mobile suit. It is able to walk, run, punch and sort of kick, but was mainly used for sword and gun combat. Later Gundams had full movement as well as some of the mass-produced mobile suits as well, but the early versions such as this one were limited to their movement. Doesn't mean that they were unable to move, just that they limited movement. Another thing about the RX-78-2 Gundam is that it actually was 3 parts to begin with. In the series, it is the torso, the head and upper body, the legs, and then the central core, which was a core fighter where the pilot sits. Now the core fighter is basically a plane, like the Eurofighter or a Typhoon, able to travel at great speed but also have vertical landing and takeoff procedures, has its own machine guns inbuilt into it as well as a few rockets. It also acts as an emergency escape hatch in case that ammo needs to leave in a hurry by ejecting the core fighter from the Gundam's upper and lower half. The core fighter could also be interchanged with the gun cannon and gun tank from the series. I have sped up the second leg a bit more than the first leg because it's basically just the same parts going in, so that's why this particular bit of the leg is faster. As I have said earlier, I will be doing the paneling on this Gundam. I have yet to decide whether that is going to be a video or going to be off air and you just get pictures before and after. if you want to let me know if you want to have those videos, not just of the RX-78-2 Gundam, but the Transit Gundam as well, and any other Gundams I do, please do say so in the comments. Anyway, nearly finishing the left leg here, just making sure that all the last bits are going on. One of the things that this particular series of Gundam had that the other ones didn't was that the main protagonist, Amuro, stuck in the main mobile suit, his Gundam, the RX-78-2, while the villain of the piece, or the protagonist's main threat, changed his mobile suits throughout the series. It is part of the Universal Century, which is a massive monologue of separate stories occurring around one part there, but I recommend that you watch it. There we go, that's that leg done. Moving on now to the waist. The waist does have a tilt and thrust function, if you will. The sides will tilt up and down, left and right, so we can sort of kick and help with the balancing for when walking. And we'll need some paneling done to it as well when it is finished and complete. Just finishing off the waist here, I'd like to talk a bit about what I want to do in the future. I will be doing a real grade, a 1/144 size real grade of a Zaku 2 Chasma's ones, which was the opposite of Amuro in this one, Amuro's main villain, if you will. The waist has a pivot in it and also a transfer, which I put on with my new tweezers, which helps me so much in putting on the fiddly transfers. As you'll see there, also taking off any excess as well. One of the main things about the design of this mobile suit is that it was later incorporated into other mobile suits in the Universal Century and also redesigned for the later series of the Gundam universe as well. Well worth looking into and also watching as well as following if you can. As you can see, I'm just finishing up putting all the bits of the hip together. I'm going to put on the legs, make sure they all work and all that, stand the guy up, stand the Gundam up, and then get on to the weapons. A little bit about the weapons before we do. The bazooka, which will be the first bit of the weapon that was made for me, that I'll make, is to help take out space stations and battleships. Battleships being roughly the size of a small city block, and not wasting the ammo of the beam rifle. The beam rifle being more for mobile suit to mobile suit combat. Also, the shield that the Gundam carries is mainly for blocking explosive projectiles, kicks, and also to protect against the heat swords and axes of the Zeon forces. The ammo was highly limited on the beam rifle, which is why they gave this Gundam the bazooka as well, which I'll attach to the back of this particular Gundam. Prepare to see some awesome poses when I get round to the photography section of this one, as well as the Transit Gundam, which will be in a later video, as I said earlier. Just finishing off the beam rifle there. There we go. And just the other side and the front to go on. Here is the beam rifle, his primary weapon for long range combat. Also used in close range as well, but mainly for long range. The shield being made out of the lunar titanium alloy has actually been cut in the past with the heat swords and axes of the Zeon forces, and it's mainly there to deflect exploded projectiles as well as stop the heat swords and axes getting to the Gundam's main body. But there is the last bits going on to this particular mobile suit. I put him on the back, and yeah, he's near enough finished.
There we go, the complete RX-78-2 Gundam, the original mobile suit Gundam. As you can see, he has all his fine weaponry on him. I have decided to have his bazooka on his back, but I can remove that for some of the pictures that I'll do. I will be paneling this guy as well later on, including his gun, which needs some work, but that will fit in that hand for some of the poses that I'll be doing in the photographs in the special paneling part later on. Until next time, this is Dave. Another Gundam built! Let's do another one.
Once again, I'd like to thank the Gundam shop for supplying me with my Gundams supply and my tools.